Hey, thank goodness it's Friday after everything that's happened this week. But let's get right into it because we know what works. Yeah, that's what the WHO said. We're going to get into that plus a little bit more at the end, so hang in there. But we know who controls the media controls the mind, right? That's what we've heard. That's what we've heard. So let's get right into it. The WHO. And yes, I'm going to have to bite my tongue a little bit on what I'm going to say here. So last week, 100 cases were reported every 3 seconds. Notice anything here? I'm not going to show you the clip. I'm just going to show you a couple pictures because we'll be looking at plenty of clips. 13 is what I'm seeing, right? And it means rebellion. But next picture, they say someone dies every 12 seconds. And notice where all the hands are at when I caught this picture. I'm just saying that's what I'm seeing. But hey, we know they are all about their numbers and everything they're showing, including in this one right here, all their favorites. But all I can do is give them a thumbs up because wow, how good they are. Well, let's take a look at this one because when health is at risk.
When health is at risk, everything is at risk. The pandemic is a brutal reminder that health is not a byproduct of development, not an outcome of prosperous societies, not a footnote of history. It's the heartbeat, the foundation, the essential ingredient without which no society can flourish.
Wow, right? I mean, boy, are they trying to pull every heartstring, everything that they can to get people to see their point of view. And boy, all I can keep saying over and over again, I will not be moved. I will keep standing with Jesus. Thank you very much. Because I am nothing without God. And we can do all things with Jesus, right? So let's just keep moving on because, yeah, he says science triumphs over misinformation. And after them taking down my second video with, of course, no appeal, no idea what video took it down, I don't know, but we just keep going on. But many cannot handle the truth. Many. And I'm talking about Yorma, my dear friend out there who is from Canada, and many others. But let's go to listen to what Tedros has to say today.
We all want a world in which science triumphs over misinformation. Solidarity triumphs over division. And equity is a reality. If that's the world we want, we must start working for that world now. To support countries to make an urgent paradigm shift towards promoting health and well-being and preventing disease by addressing its root causes. Such a shift could cut the global disease burden in half, but it would also offer massive economic gains by reducing the burden on health systems and increasing the productivity of populations. To support a radical reorientation of health systems towards primary health care at the foundation of universal health coverage. To urgently strengthen the systems and tools for epidemic and pandemic preparedness and response at all levels, underpinning by strong governance and financing to ignite and sustain those efforts concerted, connected and coordinated globally by WHO. Those efforts concerted, connected and coordinated globally by WHO to harness the power of science, research, innovation, data and digital technologies as critical enablers of the other priorities. To urgently strengthen WHO as the leading and directing authority on global health, at the center of the global health architecture. To urgently strengthen WHO as the leading and directing authority on global health.
All right, there was so much in that I had to show a little bit. And as you saw, of course, promoting health and well-being. So more new age, and so many Christians have lost their ways and started practicing in this. Need I show again and again and again the same people who have become yogis. They bowed down to another yoga teacher. Who am I referring to? Esther Houston at Hillsong, and Andrea Logan White was becoming a yogi when I last saw of her and looked into her. And of course, Veech's kids going into these yoga classes and proudly showing their pictures, just to show a little bit. But anyway, and then they mention paradigm shift. An urgent paradigm shift is needed. Paradigm shift? Really? I wonder what they're talking about. Going from an old to a new? I don't know about you, but it sure sounds familiar to me. But the only thing I can say is the only paradigm shift I'm going to be having is repenting, turning to Jesus every single day. Every day. And I hope you do the same. But as you heard them, the WHO wants to be the leading and directing authority on global health, which they basically are right now. And I cannot say anything here on YouTube against them because I always get taken down. So I'm just going to show you this and say, this is who is going to be in control. Right there. Okay? That's all I can say. And I'm sure you see it as well as I do, right? But let's get right into it because she's saying, we know what works. Oh, what we do know is what works.
Be the last variant that you will hear us speaking about. The next variant of concern will be more fit. And what we mean by that is it will be more transmissible because it will have to overtake what is currently circulating. The big question is whether or not future variants will be more or less severe. The other thing we expect with variants is that there may be more immune escape, which means our countermeasures, our vaccines will be less effective. There may be more immune escape, which means our countermeasures, our vaccines will be less effective. We expect there to be low-level circulation, but within that low level of circulation, there will be flare-ups, there will be outbreaks, and those outbreaks will occur in people who are not well protected, either because they have not been vaccinated, because they don't have access, they refuse to be vaccinated because there is vaccine hesitancy, which we are working to address globally, or they have been infected and they may have waning immunity over time. But we may also see a seasonal pattern, as Mike has mentioned. This is a respiratory pathogen, so we expect, as we go forward, we will typically see a pattern. You know, in the northern hemisphere, you see in the winter months, in the southern hemisphere, in their winter months. And in the tropics, it's a little bit different. But we do expect there to be some kind of seasonality. But the variants are a wild card. We still don't know everything about this virus. We still don't know everything about the variants and the future trajectory of that. What we do know is what works. What we do know is what works. We do know is what works. Vaccines work. Vaccines prevent people from needing hospitalizations and prevent people from dying. We know vaccines work. Vaccines prevent people from needing hospitalizations and prevent people from dying. We know that physical distancing works in terms of reducing the spread. We know that wearing of a mask actually prevents spread, reduces the opportunity to spread from one person to another. We know improving ventilation reduces the spread. We know avoiding crowds. That does not mean we shut down society, but what we're looking for is a layered approach, and we really need everybody's help.
Man, there was so many nuggets in that. I just had to share it all. But I'm not going to read that, what I added right there, that quote that came out of Fauci's mouth about the hospitalizations. No, I can't say that because that's not what the media is wanting to press forward. And nobody is talking about, of course, this right here. And even if they are, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I have my personal opinion on this right here. But all I can say is they have had to take the scoop by the 15th in order to cross the border. So every one of us is going to have to make a tough decision right now. This is a spiritual battle. Look, even Musk is saying, Canadian truckers rule. Je m'appelle syrup. Come on. And then Trudeau coming on and saying, this is unacceptable views. Small fringe. Oh, that you need to hear right here. Come on, let's go.
The small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing do not represent the views of Canadians who have been there for each other.
That was a great clip on Carl Vernon. Oh my goodness. But Rebel News is, of course, truck off Trudeau. Hey, great shirt, right? But when you start to look at them, funny, but still wrong. Why? Because they are one-sided politically. They are not seeing the bigger picture. Faith, family first, FFF. Many just don't see it, just like they don't see it right there. I mean, that's all I can say. And Rebel News, I want to say it a different way for some reason. Is that what God wants of us? Is to rebel? To be rebellions? No, that's not how it ought to be. But share your thoughts on that. Yes, we need to do something. I understand that. But is that the right plan? Is that the plan we should be going with? Because I recall even this quote, a leader is a man who has the ability to get other people to do what they want to do and like it. That's what they're doing. They're getting you to rebel. This is a spiritual battle. They are playing both sides of the game. Remember that. So just saying. And just as I used to share pictures and all kinds of things. I just thought I'd share a few of what's happened even here since it's Friday. But I got to keep this quick because I'm almost out of time. Our news there, talking about news, having the purple tie. Wow. Then, of course, the 19 shows up next. Yes, which is your S. And then happen to look at a paper and you can clearly see the black and white and the pyramid symbolism here. Way to go, Pohjola, way to go. And here as well in the Postinen, this is just something that they fill with news. And there you can see all the things I saw. My goodness, my goodness. And this, a man plowing snow for his neighbors, dressed up in unicorn costume. Wow. Way to make people smile, right? And then this one here on on Carl Vernon as well. Just take a look.
Show you around. I'm inside the Austin Hospital, outside one of their 3 COVID wards. This is Nurse Danielle. She's putting on all the PPE, of course, required to go inside that COVID ward. You know, she would do that each and every day and then, of course, spend long shifts inside. Steve's just going to take you inside that COVID ward, of course, as far as we can go. Of course, we can see some workers in there in their full PPE.
Man, that was priceless, right? My goodness. But I have to keep going on. We already know about all these dancing nurses. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. That's all I can say. Working so hard. Yeah, because that's what we do when we're on the job, right? We work hard. It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. Absolutely. We know exactly what's going on. It's the order out of chaos, but don't forget about the Hegelian dialectic, okay? Because yes, we were all brainwashed at some point, and it's hard for some people out there to wake up. We know that. So be patient with them, share the truth, do what you can, and that's all we can keep doing. But boy, is it sometimes hard, right? Oh, give us patience. Give us all that we need, Lord. All right, my other channels, the links, if I get taken down, my 5th channel will be there with a link on the last video that they allowed. And everything else is going into BitChute as much as possible. No fear, God bless. Take care. Have a great weekend. Till next time.